Yeah. I think we need to train the people a little bit to be more German.
Maybe you need to be trained to be more Australian, more Byron.
Anyway, welcome everyone to Satsang tonight, and welcome all the friends from around the world that are joining us tonight. It's a privilege and a joy and a blessing to be with you. So what's the topic today?
I already know what it is. You told me earlier.
Keep playing. A topic.
Well, I did tune in a little bit, and one of my favorite quintessences, that is magical.
That's nail polisher.
No, it's not a nail polish. I thought it was another one, but it's Hilarion, which is hilarious. No, it's Hilarion, which is a very beautiful quintessence. It's a light green one, connecting with the heart. But we have so many ideas about the heart. We have ideas about the bleeding heart, the loving heart, and then deeper than that which we truly are. Ramana has this expression, "Heart is thy name, O Lord." What does that mean? It's like when you recognize your true nature closer to yourself than all the events that we can be aware of, then we can be aware of awareness. Now we went there very, very fast, but when awareness falls back on itself, then all there is the unspeakable. And when the mind tries to speak it, it becomes a space or existence or love or peace or silence, or all these words that point towards the formless. Many teachers called it that I am. That, and it's a mystery because that is also not a thing. That is another pointer to what is deeper than all experiences. And for many years I've been running courses, especially a course called Counseling from the Heart. And at the time, the main emphasis about learning how to be with people is to be empty. And even today, it's the same thing, just emptiness now has a much deeper meaning for the real me. So first it was a concept of the mind, be empty, don't know anything about anything in yourself or in the other, and then we can move in synchronicity of emptiness, and we called it the synchronicity of the heart. What does it mean? When two zeros meet, it stays zero. In that we are one. When two persons meet, there's two. When two egos meet, there's two. When two bodies meet, there's two. Everything in form implies a certain division or duality. And yet when we penetrate the form into something, into a place deeper than that, we do actually find no thing. Did anybody find no thing when you looked in? Just at least once or twice or sometimes? Good. Now, no thing is totally boring for the mind. No thing is not entertaining for anything. So, resting as no thing is the biggest treasure, but we overlook it because mind wants something. And for many of us, only when the something gets exhausted completely, that which within us that is already free, pulls us into a deep, deep surrender. So in a way, with Hilarion, the heart is empty. And it's a quintessence, so you remember I talked about the quintessences a few times. The quintessences, they attune us to essential states. How to say this? The best analogy is that emptiness takes form in all different colors of the rainbow, in all different energies that we are actually expressing in this world. And when emptiness takes form through the heart, it manifests as compassion, as love, as space, as inclusiveness, as intuition, as emptiness. And then depending, whether we are more male-oriented, it's then emptiness. If we are more female-oriented, it's love. It's the same thing. It's the same no thing. And many healthy therapies actually point always to the same. Can I allow that which already is? Isn't it so much easier than trying to change what is? Now, it's very tricky because in the outside world we can change many things, but in the inside world, I remember the saying from Bhagwan, from the Oneness University, that struck me at the time, where he said, or heard him say, when the impossibility of change strikes you, you're free. When you realize that what is, it cannot be otherwise, we cannot fight with it, because every psychological pain arises from our interpretation. When we drop the interpretation, the fact is simply a fact. Neither painful nor pleasant. I'm quoting I'm quoting a quote that has been hanging in my room for many, many years. It is such a simple pointer. The whole quote goes like this: accept yourself in tremendous gratitude. This is the space of Hilarion, full acceptance. No fact ever creates any psychological pain. It's our interpretation that creates pain in us. Drop all interpretation. I know that the quote goes, change the interpretation and the same fact that was unpleasant becomes pleasant. Drop all interpretations and then the fact is simply a fact, neither painful nor pleasant. And then comes a key, which we often forget. Just be watchful. Accepting and watchful, and you carry the sacred key in your hands. So just be watchful has been, for me at least, been misunderstood for years. Because even Osho, and I think many of us heard Osho like this, he kept emphasizing, be watchful, be aware. Did you hear it like this also? Yeah? And what we've been missing, and I'm sure Osho tried to kind of point us towards this, is that even the trying to be watchful is already watched without trying. Take a breath. Do you get that? Mm-hmm. Yeah? So everything that ever happens, the moment I say, I am sitting here, there must be awareness of this body sitting. So there must be watchfulness. I am smelling a certain fragrance. There must be watchfulness, otherwise the experience wouldn't be there. No? I am feeling sad. There must be watchfulness about sadness. So, as I understand it today, the message, be watchful, is a pointer for the mind that loves to have something to do, while awareness is already here. Does that make any sense? I mean, I tried so hard, Did you ever try, be watchful when you eat, watch how the spoon takes the soup. Now watch how the spoon kind of slowly comes to your mouth. Feel the feeling on your mouth. It's a sensory experience. It's a sensory practice. But that which is aware is already there. And it's the only no thing that is always there. And now it gets really interesting, Is it there? But what is it? And if we relate it to the chakras, somehow it's related to the third eye. And when the third eye kind of opens, there's no more projection. There's only taking or seeing everything the way it is. And in that moment, there is oneness, because this body, this mind, this emotion, this experience, this story, and everybody else's story is held in that infinite space. And when we relate it to the heart, we could say, yes, it's held in the infinite heart. Another word for consciousness. Shall we try this? It's kind of it has a specific frequency. When nothingness or emptiness begins to take form, it starts with an energy field. It starts with a frequency. And then the frequency embodies itself in the expression of this form. And the beauty is, this is what I really like about Arasoma, is it focuses on essence, on our essential qualities, rather than on what doesn't work. Because we all noticed, the moment we focus on what doesn't work, it doesn't work. It works less. Because wherever we bring our attention to, that's where our energy flows. And when we energize failure, there will be more failure. You have that? Can you relate to that? And it's such an automatic thing. Because the ego can only survive in separation, in resistance, in superiority or inferiority, in comparison, in judgments. And we go a little bit deeper, and it all disappears. It just all melts away in this field. Shall we try? If you could stand up and make your left wrist available, And the friends around the world, you can kind of imagine a beautiful light green quintessence as a vibration of the heart touching you. And when you receive Hilarion, he's a kind of another of these beautiful masters, rub it into your wrists and close your eyes. And it's such a beautiful excuse to turn the attention from outside inwards. So let the Hilarion quintessence be like a tuning for a vibration within. That space of the heart, that opening. And then you can raise your arms high above the head and just imagine your growing wings from the core of your spine to your fingertips. You can become an angel. And then you can open and close your wings, crossing over at the midline of the body above the crown, bringing the vibration of Hilarion into all the layers of your aura. In the opening to the infinite universe, we are as infinite. In the embrace, embracing that limitlessness within through the crown. This is where we are deeply connected to all and everything as form and as emptiness. Then embracing the third eye, and in the opening, imagine we can release all projections through which we see the world. And in the embrace, embracing the capacity to see reality as it is. Very clear, very simple, no story needed. And then we can open the wings around the throat chakra. In the embrace, embracing the essential quality of the throat, which is creativity and trust and expression and peace. In the opening, imagine you can release all your limiting beliefs. And I would say every thought is a limiting belief, whether it's a positive thought or a negative thought. There's a space beyond thought, otherwise we couldn't be aware of thought, and we are that space. And then we can move to the heart. In the opening, releasing all these ideals and shoulds and the pressure of it and the should nots that burden the heart. And these ideals, of course, are there because we look for appreciation and we try to avoid rejection from outside. And in the embrace, embracing the wholeness of the heart, the tenderness, the fullness, the space of love, and the empty heart. Now let your wings rest over your heart for a moment, receiving the vibration of Hilarion deep in the silence of the heart. And perhaps you can feel your heart respond. More as a climate. And then we can open our wings and embracing the solar plexus. In the opening, we can release all these habitual egoic strategies of separation, like comparison, competition, judgments, blame. In the embrace, embracing that charismatic light within, that strength in your third chakra, that capacity to get things moving, and your individuality, your absolute uniqueness here. So how can we compare? Like the solar plexus is the sun plexus. This is where our sunlight shines bright and becomes magnetic. And then we can embrace the second chakra, the lower belly. In the opening, imagine that any holding, any protection of any old wound can just open, and you allow whatever emotional stories we hold in, just allow them to air out into the cosmos. And in the embrace, embracing your deep and wonderful sensitivity, vulnerability, the capacity to melt and to be alone. And then we can move to the first chakra, to the roots, and allowing this physical body to be tenderly embraced by the field of Hilarion, of the heart, along the legs, all the way down, connecting with Mother Earth. And this is a good moment to let go of everything that you thought belongs to you. And notice or recognize that even when you let go of everything, you are still here. And that's the true you. And now when we come up, allow your wings to unwind around each other in a backward spiral towards the body, symbolically unwinding any holding fibers of the mind until we for a moment stand open like this being of light, this being of space, this being as a vast field of energy connected to all beings. And then we can bring the palms together and the wrists close to your nostrils, and taking 3 deep breaths of this fragrance into the temple of the body. Very good. And just feel this namaste, this gesture of namaste, first to yourself, and then if you like, you can open your eyes and just extend it to all the divine beings here. And then we can sit. Today my grandkids did the flower arrangement. It's very alive.
I was wondering if Steve did that.
So I want to dedicate the light of the candle today to love, Hilarion. A much bigger love than we know. You know, it's funny. Whenever I do Arasoma, it's actually Nura doing it. Did you notice? So, what dies, what doesn't die? Close your eyes. Take a deep breath, just deep in-breath. And deep out-breath, just letting go. And another deep in-breath. And letting go. And one more time. And letting go. And as we are already touching that space on the heart, of the heart, just bring your whole attention to the center of your chest. Feel your heart. And whatever the feeling is, don't try to change it, let it be so. If it's expanded or if it's contracted, don't choose. Let the space that holds the experience be like a tender, loving, perhaps even mother-like energy field that tenderly embraces whatever experience is here in this moment. And feeling how each in-breath is actually expanding not just the chest and the belly and the in-breath, but it expands the experience of this moment. And allowing each out-breath to be a letting go, a melting inside, a deep allowing of that which is. So each in-breath, a deeper opening, and each out-breath, a deeper let go inside. And like this, we may have the sensation of melting deeper inside. And at first it may be the sense of melting deeper than thoughts. And thoughts continue. And yet our attention is deeper than that. And then deeper into the heart, deeper than feelings. So on the surface we could say the heart is a feeling side of the being. And yet as we melt deeper, it's almost we are closer to ourselves than the feeling. Each out-breath, a further let go. Deeper than the body sensations. Now we can be deeper than that, or we are deeper than that, because there's something in us aware of the sensations, so we must be deeper than that. And deeper than the breath. And deeper than the heartbeat. Now, what is even closer to the being than the heartbeat? We could call it that which is deeper than all experience. And you will notice, I am still here even when all experience is left behind. What is this I? And there's no answer. The discovery here is that of peace, of silence, of stillness, of space, of love. All words pointing to the inexpressible. And we are that. And as we rest as stillness, as awareness, every experience comes and goes here. So we're going to sit silently for a while and allowing each out-breath to take you even deeper. Endlessly deep, like a drop that totally dissolves in the ocean. deeper and deeper. Don't park anywhere. Behind all experiences, what is here? Feel this peace. It's not created, it's not something we have done. It is just emerging from within. Feel this love. It's not something we can create or do. It's already here, emerging, showing itself when everything else is left behind. Sometimes when we go in there, different visions, different melodies, different sensations. They can only be there because you are here, I am here. That which is aware is the only I would say the only thing, but it's not a thing. That is always here. Everything else comes and goes. What is that that is always here? Closer than the breath, closer than the heartbeat. Just remembering the depth in this moment as we gently come back. Just bring with you that infinity, that unspeakable. It's always here. It may manifest perhaps as gratitude, as love, as peace, as space. And it's a miracle that this is actually experiencing itself as body also. So you can take a deeper breath. Allow the body to stretch a little, to move a little. Until you find a good moment to open your eyes to a new moment here. Yes. Anything to say? Anything to ask? We can also ask, the friends around the world. Today Steve is with us and he can read your question if you write any question or any comment in the comment box. So feel free, we're swimming in grace right now. But we also have a day-to-day life where sometimes we touch hindrances or difficulties or challenges or inner turmoil. And of course there's only ever one answer to that. When mind or story kind of takes possession and believes itself to be who we are. And the answer is always that which is. Allow that which is. Allow that to be the door. So simple, no? Yes, come. Hey, Fiona.
Nothing really.
Nothing really. Very good. Nothing really. That's the truth.
Just sitting back there, and I thought I'd come and sit up here.
Mm.
Actually, because sometimes I get really anxious that nobody comes up. And it's better for me if I come up than sit back there worrying that nobody's coming up.
I love that. You get anxious. You get anxious if nobody comes up.
I don't know why that is. What is that about?
It's probably our anxiety of nothingness.
Is what?
You know, of, oh my God, if nobody comes up, then what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
are you saving us?
I don't know. Maybe. Not really.
Not really.
How can I possibly do that? But I noticed that because when I have therapy every fortnight or so, and I'm not comfortable with the silences, I will fill them up.
You will fill them
I'll
up.
fill them up.
Yes,
Yeah.
mind is very uncomfortable with silence.
Yeah.
Our old sense of self, or our habitual sense of self, you know, it needs something. And when we face nothing, it freaks out.
It really does. And one of the things that I've experienced, you know, because I sit when we do the meditations here, and you always say, you know, experience the no thing, the nothing. I have to say that one of my, you know, the times when I feel most present, I actually feel something. I feel something quite strong, quite alive and quite big, that's bigger than what I normally feel. So it's not, for me, an experience of nothing. It feels like an experience of something.
Great.
Is it?
Yay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you see, I mean, again, the moment we talk about it, it's a concept, but there's a reality behind it. It's like one glimpse, one moment of what the mind calls no thing, because it's not an object, is the space that contains everything. Sometimes we overlook the moment of nothing. It's like that happened to me many years ago when somehow the curtain opened. It was also not nothing, it was everything. It's like, my God, everything that I see is me. Every form is me and every formless is me. So there's nothing that is not me.
Yeah, I don't think I've quite felt that, but I think what I felt is an incredible, I don't know, like a presence of love, or that it's all deeply okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's all deeply okay.
Yeah.
It is all deeply okay. That is so beautiful. And it's true. How can it not be okay? It is. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So no thing or something are still words of the mind trying to kind of label the unlabelable. Unlabelable?
Yeah.
I like that word. Unlabelable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And isn't it incredible that in this moment has a body, that which we cannot label has a body with all these wonderful, expressions of life.
Idiosyncrasies, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Mm.
So for me, it makes life so incredibly precious. Just wow. When the body, when we kick the bucket, or when the body goes, it's probably the greatest step into that which we get a glimpse of in meditation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And more, the sense is that this, whatever this is not dependent whether the body is here or not.
Mm. Yeah.
And just that realization makes the life can be exactly the same, but it makes it so easy.
Mm.
And there is a kind of a mysterious part in it that the Indians call Satchidananda or Satyam Shivam Sundaram. There is a level of beauty and of friendliness and of kindness and of lovingness that is not practiced, but it just emerges.
Yeah.
You feel that?
Yeah, I do. I think the thing that is difficult, well, the thing that I struggle with is, the separation stuff, the way that I might feel different to other people and think that they're better than me, or all of that sort of discrimination stuff.
And did you ever investigate into the truth of these thoughts?
I probably have, but obviously not successfully, because I still do it. Yeah.
Anybody else does that sometimes? No? You feel better, or you feel worse, or you feel you know better. No?
Mm.
So within that is no solution, but you are the solution. How can I say that? Because you see it, you're aware of it, isn't it?
Mm.
Now, is that which is aware of it superior and inferior?
No, it's just there.
It's just there.
Mm.
You see, it is so unbelievably simple that we overlook it every moment. No? Every moment we kind of identify with any kind of story about anything, it feels so real. And this is a gift of Ramana, the question, well, who is aware of it? What is it that sees this power trip, for example, or this ego trip? And immediately you're out of it.
Mm.
Or you're not out, you're deeper in.
Mm.
And then all this life is more like a cinema.
Yeah, I feel like that. I feel when I sit here, I can really feel that. And yeah, like when I can, it's like an energy. When that energy's there, I can ride with that energy. And then sometimes something else, which is the mind, just takes over and runs the show.
Yeah.
But I think it's a process. Like I can't be in a hurry with that.
No. Where do you want to go?
Exactly.
You're already here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
And I often sit with a friend who is very, very sick, and who just kind of went through a horrible 2 weeks of massive chemotherapy that wiped out everything. she said, actually, I died because they took the whole blood out and everything out. They killed the whole immune system with chemotherapy. They had kind of cultivated her stem cells before, so they needed to first basically kill her and then bring the stem cells back so that she can build her own immune system from scratch. But the level of suffering, the level of pain, the level of despair, the level of... And she's very conscious, you know, but the level of suffering has brought her to such an incredible awareness. And she says, you know, it's crazy, but I would never be there without the depths of this unescapable... I mean, I cannot even imagine how that is. You know, just the body and the realization that even when we talk wisely now about I'm not the body, but when the body goes through these intense stories, you know, then probably you want to kill somebody who tells you you're not the body, because you're so... I mean, it's so inescapable. But within the intensity of suffering, the discovery of freedom. I mean, that's what Jesus kind of tried to tell us or show us. You know, you hang on the cross. I mean, what worse can it be? And you get, you know, the lance in your side. I mean, everything that looks absolutely impossible, and that impossible just for some of us. I hope we don't need all. Not all of us need that intense, extreme suffering, but obviously, I think Steve sent around this thought of the day where most people that wake up actually had to go through an incredible amount of struggle and pain first. And maybe now we are coming a time where that's not so much needed, you know, where what you say, the field, the energy field, it's like there is something in consciousness that obviously is more available to many, many more people. You know? Not when we look at the news, that doesn't look like it, but but you know, just the few of us sitting here in that space is so readily available. And it's so obvious that this is more real than everything that comes and goes.
Especially here, yeah.
Especially here. And where else can we be than here? Yeah. And that's why, you know, it's like when we have these glimpses, which we obviously have, that is what needs to be shared. There's enough nonsense being shared. You know? That is, if that finds an expression, then I think this is what we are here for. Not as a goal, not as a purpose, not to save the world, but to enhance this field which is already here, the field of presence. You know? The field of love. There's nothing we need to do, really.
So I can go and sit back there and relax then?
You
My
can.
back row.
Even if nobody else comes, you know? You can penetrate the torture of nobody coming. But did you try to save my loneliness?
No, I don't know what it is. It's just
no, it's okay.
ridiculous.
No, no, I'm glad you came.
But anyway, so am I. I'm glad I came to.
Yeah, of course we want to rescue each other. No? Is it raining?
Wind.
Wind. Yes.
Well, you just, when you did that, I thought he looks like a woman that's left the washing on the line.
Men leave washing on the line too.
They don't pull that face, they don't care if it gets wet. They don't care if it gets another rinse.
Now, shall I tell you what I was thinking? I have this very beautiful waggy wagtail bird. You know these that fly around and the tail goes always like this, and is nesting right there. And whenever somebody comes, she flies and makes sure that the baby is safe. And when the crow comes, it chases the crow away. And I was just worried that the rain destroys her nest, because it's such a beautiful nest. It's not the laundry. Yeah. Isn't it interesting what the mind does? No? And everything that, I think this is so beautiful what you said, Pavita, because everything that we think about anything is our own projection. Did you know that? It looks so real, but everything is projected out through the projector and places it on things that appear real, and ultimately they are not. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean they don't exist. Yeah, they exist, but as a projection of our own mind and story. So when the more we realize this, the more we actually sit in silence. There's nothing else. Or we project consciously and enjoy it. It's like we're going to the cinema and look at videos. Any questions around the world? Nobody. Everybody's already awake.
I got something.
Yes, you want to come?
If you want to hold my hand, I dry them first.
You dry them. Well, if you want to hold my hand.
It was something you said right in the beginning when we came in, about we can't change things, we can't change. Well, kind of what I heard was more like we can't change other people.
Did you try with your husband?
Always.
Always.
Every day.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not really, because I think, I know, and I think we all know we can't change people or somebody else.
Yes.
But we still try.
We still try. And usually it's, I'm sorry, it's not discrimination, but usually the men give up earlier than the woman.
Trying?
Yeah.
So,
right?
to change the other one.
To change the other. No? But it's the same thing. And why would we want to change the other? Because we don't want the experience that the other is the situation for.
That's more the point.
That's the main point.
That's the point.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's why I thought, we know, we can't change other people, we all know that, so, but,
But you also cannot change that which is triggered in you, and that frustrates you about the other, because there's something triggered in you.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
And the good news is that can be met. It cannot be changed, but it can be met.
Yeah, yeah. And I find like every time when I come to satsang, I always take something home.
Great.
That's why I really love to come, because it's like there's always something.
Something.
Never not nothing.
Great. That's good news. That gives me a purpose, and all the other satsang givers.
So yeah, I feel like,
and the ego is happy. It's like, now I have a value. I'm playing.
well, it's nice that I make you happy. They have got a purpose.
Yes. Thank you. See,
And you're
now
not sitting alone here on the couch.
Exactly. What a compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, take something home.
That's great. No? That's great.
Mm.
I'm always, after satsang, when I put it on the net, I need to put it with a title. So you just gave me the title.
What is the title?
Was something like, you can't change anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
And then you're free.
Mm-hmm. When the impossibility of change strikes you, you are free. Mm.
Sometimes you have to remind. We have to be reminded, huh?
That's
we know things, but then.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of a gathering like this, or of meditation, or of anything.
Mm.
That's what the Buddha said, before he left the body. He said, Sama Sati, remember. And he was reminding, remember. It's not become, it's not get somewhere, it's remember.
Mm.
No? It's not a journey from here to there. It is a journey from here to more here, to more here, to more here, to more remembering. And for what? I don't know for what. It's just a joy. It's a much more joyful than acting out separation, isn't it?
Mm. Mm.
But wanting to change the other is also something that we can recognize and say, and as it is held in awareness, it changes the quality of any of our trips. Change when they are held as they are. That's a paradox,
Mm.
You want to change something, it doesn't work. You don't want to change it, but you hold it, you allow it to be there, it changes.
Mm.
Like everything.
Mm.
You have that?
Mm.
And that's amazing in itself. It's so illogical. And our ego still believes that if I do enough, then there is change.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm. But if I just am here and relaxed, and spontaneous and present and open, everything flows.
Mm.
Or sometimes it stagnates, and that's also okay.
Mm. No.
Yeah, then comes the old mindset, but we have to do something. I feel stagnant, I feel stuck. Right?
Flowing is good.
I can hear a comparison. Flowing is good, stagnant is not good. Now we are back in duality, right and wrong. Isn't it incredible, no? It's the first poison we get fed as children, right and wrong, good and bad, high and low. And all that doesn't even exist. I'm just reminded of the saying of the Buddhist. It's like, the question is, tell me who you are before you were born, because it needed to be born first for us to act it out. So what was the question?
Realization I had, not a question.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
That's good to have you. Oh, that was a realization.
It's good.
Yeah.
No?
To come and get reminded.
Yeah. And I love it. It doesn't matter if there's 3 people or 20 or 100 or it doesn't really matter.
Mm.
It even doesn't matter if I'm just sitting alone, but it's so much nicer.
Mm.
It's so nice because we are sharing a field that is so delicious. I don't know, is it just my fantasy or it is so delicious to sit in that as that.
Mm.
No? Because we're so drawn outward through all these things that are happening.
Mm.
And this is kind of balancing out a little bit, drawing us inward.
Mm. Sitting in silence.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful, no?
Mm. Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sweaty hands now?
Yes, sweaty hands.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
I've got a comment
You got a comment?
from, I don't know how to say this name, Swedish, I think.
Yeah.
Gordis Nurgen.
Yurdis. Yeah.
It's a long comment.
Uh-huh. Heard this.
When you shared about the very sick woman who got through that intensity of body pain, the one with cancer, my heart just blew out in light of gratitude. In me too, about wanting to kill. When somebody advised me to love my body in those moments of extreme, unavoidable intensity of pain. And to having the experience of that, I wouldn't be here. I am now without those experiences. I went through a similar process internally during a period of unbearable physical pain 25 years ago, when the impossibility of change struck me. In gratitude of living, enjoying my physical temple, I'm doing that more now than I was when I was young.
Great. I mean, in a way, it may sound extreme, but then we can really see that nothing ever goes wrong. Whatever is kind of a doorway to freedom. If we get that, we stop arguing with existence. You know? And of course, here, most of us here sitting here are healthy and the body is good. And perhaps these comparisons, if you like, even though they're of the ego, can help us to feel more gratitude for this body. I feel such an immense gratitude that, the body still works the way it does. And it has a use-by date. No? And we don't know when the use-by date is. It can be, in the next moment. Or it can be in a few years. It doesn't matter. But the gratitude for life, for that possibility that, I call it, that the divine can experience itself through this body. before it returns into formlessness. Isn't that amazing? And you know, I can see with all our sannyas friends, we are getting older, obviously. No? And at the same time we see that there is something that is eternal, that it has never aged. Do you have that? Like, you know, sometimes you look in the mirror and say, this is not, that's wrong. Yeah, it's like, come on. I feel like, 21, and the body, whatever age it has, there's something absolutely weird unless we realize, well, that which is always here takes center stage and shows itself, and it will be here when the body leaves. And that makes us eternal. Now I'm kind of overstepping my own wisdom, because I have to first die and see whether that's true. But I have a strong sense. That that which is aware, that which is eternal, that which is also eternally young, is always here. And you see it often in, some old people their eyes have become dull. But many of us old young people, you just see the eyes and you see the youth, you see the freshness, you see the light, you see, oh God, yeah. I recently met a friend. She is, I think, close to 90, and she is so fresh, so alive, so. You look at her and you say, this is very, very old woman. But then you totally forget, because there's a girl there, an alive, joyous girl. And she shared something very beautiful. There were not any. She was married, and her husband died quite a few years ago. But when he left, the only thing he said, I had a ball. And he went. I think this is a very good way to go. Yeah, we had a ball. We knew it, it ends somewhere. We don't need to dismiss it, but we had a ball. We experienced these 100,000 things, and it all returns into the one. Could anybody say that? Imagine you die in the next moment. Who had a ball?
Crazy ball.
A crazy ball, yeah.
I don't think you can call it young, because it's just alive.
You cannot call it young, that's true.
It's not young or old, it's ageless.
It's ageless, yeah.
And what we see in the eyes is that alive spirit that's beyond time.
Yeah, language gets very, very limited here, that's true. Pavita said, this is for the audience, that what we see is not young, it's timeless, or beyond time, which is so true. Shall we have Osho say the last words with the let go? I love these let goes. In the last few satsangs, for those of you who weren't here, I was playing one of the end of discourses in the last year before Osho left the body. Every evening he was guiding us into our Buddha nature. And of course we took it very beautifully as another exercise, but it was actually very, very real. If you hear it today, you will recognize, yes, he has pointed us at that time so clearly to our true nature. And the moment we left Buddha Hall, we forgot. We were struggling in the canteen, in the queue, and pushing each other. But those moments of eternity kind of kept expanding more and more. And today you will see they're even more expanded. So close your eyes. And he starts with be silent. But before that he had a discourse, and then he shared some horrible jokes. And then we did gibberish. And then Nivedano was hitting the drum, and Osho guided us into silence. And the guidance is incredible. So close your eyes and let Osho guide you now. It's timeless.
Be silent. Close your eyes and feel your body to be completely frozen. This is the right move to look inward. Gather your whole life energy, your total consciousness, and with an urgency, as if this is going to be your last moment, rush towards the center of your being, faster and faster. As you come closer, you are coming closer to your Buddha. A little more, a little more. Deeper you go, greater becomes the silence. The moment you reach to the center, you have touched eternity. This moment, Gautam the Buddha auditorium is full of 10,000 Buddhas. The only quality the Buddha had is witnessing. Witness that you are not the body. Witness that you are not the mind. Witness that you are not the astral or the subtle bodies. Witness that you are only the witness and nothing else. This is your purest consciousness. This is your awakening. To make your witness witnessing deeper, Nivedana, relax, let go, but remain centered. A great ecstasy is showering. You will find yourself drunk. It is being drunk with the divine. Slowly, slowly, you start melting like ice. And the Buddha auditorium becomes an ocean of pure consciousness without any ripple. You are the most blessed people in the world because nobody is looking inwards. Nobody is trying to find his ultimate source. This will transform your very life. This will give you a new clarity about everything. This will make you an individual with absolute freedom from all fetters, prisons, religions, nations, races. This will make you the citizen of the cosmos. The whole world is yours. The whole existence rejoices in your meditation. Before Nivedana calls you back, collect as much experiencing as you can. The joy, the blissfulness, the benediction, the great matter of being one with the whole, and persuade the Buddha to come along with you. He has to become your very heartbeat, your very breathing. He has to be always present in you. He is there but hidden deep, far deep. He has to be brought closer and closer. So soon every word that you speak comes from him. Every silence is his silence. Every gesture is his gesture. The day all your songs are his and all your dances are his is the greatest day of your millions of lives. Nivedana, come back, but come back as Buddhas, with the same grace, the same beauty, the same silence, and sit down for a few moments. just to recollect where you have been, what space you have traveled in, what golden path you have moved on, and what you have brought with you from the new space. A new birth, a resurrection. Remember it. Meditation is a death and a resurrection.
Thank you, beloveds. Take that with you, that remembering. It's powerful, no? So straight, so relevant for today. That was more than 30 years ago. Be well, have a beautiful rest of the evening, and come again next Friday. Thank you.